Sugarcane is one of the Earth's most efficient plants in producing sucrose for mankind. More than 1,683 million metric tons of sugar is produced per year in about 120 countries. The cultivation and processing of sugar produce a variety of environmental impacts through the loss of natural habitats, intensive use of water, heavy use of agrochemicals, and the discharge of polluted runoff and air. This has all led to the degradation of wildlife, soil, air, and water. In addition, human health effects abound from occupational hazards during the production of sugarcane via the use of herbicides and field burnings, in addition to its association to obesity due to its overconsumption in industrialized nations. Sugar is a complex cash crop that deeply penetrates and affects nations throughout the globe. This paper is an effort to highlight several environmental and public health problems associated with the production, processing, and ingestion of sugar, and to introduce new strategies of mediation, prevention, and control of these problems. We focus on three distinct areas of the effects of sugar: environmental and health impacts of herbicide use, sugarcane production and respiratory illness, and sugar consumption and the obesity epidemic. The main products used on sugarcane are herbicides. This is due to weeds competing for nutrients, light, and water during sugarcane growth. Though the use of herbicides is attributed with more productive yields, there are many adverse health effects and environmental effects. Pesticide residues often leach into the groundwater, and workers in the fields are very much exposed to herbicides, and there are many documented cases of herbicides causing renal failure and Parkinson's disease. In addition, due to other animals surrounding the sugarcane fields, herbicides have been known to be toxic in bees, birds, and crustaceans, and they're also thought to be carcinogenic on humans. And often, there's residual herbicides and pesticides found in sugarcane. Some possible solutions, some of which are being applied now, not universally, are to introduce antagonistic species which can compete with the species adversely affecting sugarcane growth. The use of drip irrigation, not only will that reduce water usage, which is a big issue, putting herbicides within the water in the drip irrigation system puts it right into the root of the crops, so less is used. And crop rotation has been found to increase productivity and decrease pests and weed growth.
The production of sugarcane has been noted to have several health and environmental effects. The first step of sugarcane production is the process of pre-harvest burns. Pre-harvest burns help to reduce the amount of trash, also known as sugarcane leaf and debris, and also to kill venomous species which can be harmful to laborers. The second step is to refine the sugar in mills and the effect of workers in those mills. And the third is its distribution to the community and the health effects there. There are many adverse health effects from pre-harvest burns. The list concludes death from respiratory and vascular disease, stroke, increase in heart attacks, increased hospitalization following pre-harvest burns, especially an increase in asthma attacks in children and the elderly, an increase in overall bronchitis from sugarcane communities, an increase in bagasosis, which is a specific respiratory illness in mill factories, as well as an increase in release of biogenic amorphous silica, which has similar effects to the lungs as asbestos. Fortunately, there are already prevention and control methods in place. UNICA, the Sao Paulo Sugarcane Agro-Industry Union, has already placed a ban on sugarcane pre-harvest burns in 2017 and has already started phase-out processes. Some other supportive NGOs include Sucre.wmv, Bon Sucro, and ICUMSA.
In addition to the environmental effects of sugarcane production, there are also physiological effects from the overconsumption of sugar. The average American consumes 141 pounds of sugar per year from these different sources. This is an example of an on-point source of exposure of sugar because it is difficult to determine which exact form is the cause of various health effects. Sugar is empty calories, which is energy for the body with no nutritional value. It contributes to type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, hypertension, depression of the immune system, and obesity. Sugar consumption has increased over the years. Here's an example using Coca-Cola. Has the serving sizes has increased from 1915 going to the most in 1988. And these are the amount of pounds of fat that a person will gain by drinking one serving size such as this per year. 3 political events that have increased the sugar and high fructose corn syrup consumption are called the perfect storm. The first is in 1973 when Nixon wanted to make food cheap so that he could win the presidential election. He added sugar to processed foods so that everyone could have food and it was cheaper to buy. The second event is in 1975 when high fructose corn syrup was introduced to the USA, and also the WIC program, Women, Infant, and Children program, increased juice consumption for children, which led to more children being overweight. And the last event is in the 1980s when it was believed that a low-fat, high-carb diet would help with decreasing the risk of cardiovascular disease. They didn't look at the sugar content, how that was consumption of sugar was increasing also. Sugar is harmful to all systems of the body.
Our proposed control program for the production and overconsumption of sugar is the Green Sugarcane Initiative. Part of this initiative includes the implementation of internationally accepted and abided by regulations, which, for example, should limit the use of and consistency of use of herbicides, ban pre-harvest burns, and implement international standards on worker conditions.
Our control program includes the Green Sugarcane Initiative. It consists of green technology. It includes drip irrigation, crop rotation, which increases the nitrogen fixation in the soil, integrated pest management, green manure, utilization of all byproducts, and most importantly, no burning.
The Green Sugarcane Initiative will start with a pilot program in Maui, Hawaii. The first step will be to gain support locally by pointing out that green technology will increase the amount of jobs of labor. It will increase reusable local products such as compostable cutlery, and increase the use of biofuel locally in Hawaii so we won't have to import petroleum. The second step will be to gain support from C&H Industries, which is one of the top leading industries in Maui, Hawaii, which has already expressed interest in green technology. The third step will be to gain support from the Hawaiian government by pointing out that the health of the total population will increase, and by implementing a subsidized program. This program will increase the production of overall sugar cane, which will lead to competition between the industries, which will overall drive prices of sugar cane down and lead to the eventual withdrawal of the subsidies. This will lead to sustainable programs within Hawaii. The fourth step will be to gain national government and community support, spreading the program across the United States. And the final and fifth step will be to gain international support so that we can globally implement the Green Sugarcane Initiative.